I spent the day putting the last finishing touches to my planned mutiny. It was a matter as delicate and as serious as the creation of a soufflé by a master chef. I spread word of my signal amongst my allies, and retired to bed early. One could not mutiny on a bad night's sleep, after all. Oh boy. We have 20 days to get around the rest of the world. We reached Honolulu in the dark. The captain took a small skiff into the harbor with a few of his officers, wishing to inquire about repairs before putting the Water Lily into dry dock. Monsieur Fogg watched the boat for a long moment. "Now is the time," he said crisply. "I trust everything is in order?" I assured him that it was, and he nodded, having expected no other response. "Let us hope so." With that my master retreated to his cabin, and I called the signal to arms. The Water Lily erupted into chaos. Everywhere was the clash of sabers and pistols. Now and then I heard the shriek of the officers' sonic weapons. But I was not alone. The half of the crew that followed the Shinto creed fell in behind me with a rallying cry. They fought their Christian crewmates with vicious determination, clearing the top deck within the hour. The Chinese laborers rewarded my friendship with steadfast loyalty, throwing themselves into mutiny with all the desperation of men and women who utterly loathed sea travel, and longed to revenge themselves upon their instrument of torment in any fashion. They lit fires and tore up the already ragged sails, causing some welcome chaos. The submariners, led by Commander Davy, emerged quietly. There was a long, terrible moment when I wondered at their allegiance. Then Commander Davy caught my eye and nodded. "We know when it is time for a change," she shouted, driving back any stragglers loyal to Captain Wicker. I saw Mademoiselle Loretta trip up one of the loyal officers out of the corner of my eye. She tipped her bonnet in my direction, a gesture of respect from one player of the game to another. The whirl of the battle took me away, but not before I saw her falsify a magnificent feint and block the gangway to the navigation room. Excellent. By noon it was clear how the day would end. The mutineers raised a ragged cheer of victory. I myself had ended up with a debonair scratch upon the cheek, and had somehow come to be in the possession of a brace of pistols and 3 sabers. By the time the captain and the officers returned, we had complete control of the ship. They were quickly trussed up and returned to their skiff. Get 'em out of here, to seek their fortune in Honolulu. Monsieur Fogg emerged, surveying the scene of recent battle with a calm eye. "Well done," he said, with classic gentlemanly understatement. Still, it was well done, and more, if I do say so myself. Relations with Fogg strengthens. We are well healed. Alright. Now we are headed back to America. North America, to be precise. Let's go and converse. Greetings, Commander Davy. Monsieur Passepartout, yes? Dang it. I already asked about that one. What about Acapulco? Absolutely, one can fly aboard the Bonaventura from San Pedro to Acapulco. Okay. Let's go. So we can... Oh, from San Pedro. Oh, yeah, that's way down there. We don't want that. Okay. So if we go here, we got the overview. Not entirely sure if character well healed, I'm not sure what these things actually do to actually help me. But oh, look, there's our cut across. So crazy. It would we could have just gone straight there, but no. All right. To my amazement, the successful mutineers held a vote and elected me the new captain of the Water Lily. I tried to refuse, to little avail. What did I, Passepartout, know of captaining a vessel such as this? Rest assured, mes amis, it was the... Sorry, sometimes my French just makes me laugh. Rest assured, mes amis, it was in great part a ceremonial title, which made no particular demands on my seamanship. Monsieur Fogg, though pleased by the success of our mutinous endeavor, seemed to regard my elevation in rank with some wariness. I am, he admitted, as we prepared for bed, somewhat put in mind of Bonaparte. Pablo? Otherwise, the succession was passed smoothly. So, Bonaparte, Napoleon. Like he's saying that I'm Napoleon because I'm French and because I'm put in charge? That seems a little racist. Huh, anyway. The succession passed smoothly, and I acquired Wicker's top hat as a mark of office. Cool. Day 61, Monsieur Fogg murmured that night in his sleep, and still some distance yet to travel. Yeah, we have now, oh gosh, we've got 18 days. Waiting it out. Mysterious French pirate seizes steamer off coast of Honolulu. Oi! That is I, the French pirate. Come to take all your booty. The new first mate, a cheerful girl by the name of Wang, came to me with an intriguing notion. As you know, the Water Lily is a ship-to-submarine prototype, she said. If the submariners cooperated, we could convert to submersible and make port at San Francisco in 2 days rather than 5. Heck yes! I called Commander Davy, the leader of the submariners. I can see why I'm here, but the answer is no, she declared. I may have aided you against the captain, but I do not trust you or your leadership. May I go? Surely you wish to use the submersible, I declared. I do, but who exactly are you to ask me? Forgive me, you are no captain, Captain. I could hardly argue with that. Dang it. Dang it, I was really sure that would help. Fogg said to have crossed the date line, but will extra day be enough? I'm starting to wonder myself. We're going to have to, like, skip through things. We spent most of the day repairing the damage done to the ship by the mutiny. First Mate Wang took care of the particulars with an efficiency that I was loath to interfere with. Therefore, I spent my time at whist with Mademoiselle Loretta, who waxed lyrical about the grand adventure of our recent mutiny. I feel I have so much to learn from you, Captain, she declared, batting her eyelashes in studied coyness. I'm definitely a ladies' man. That's Passepartout in a nutshell. Converse. Greetings, mademoiselle. Passepartout, why hello. Let's see if we can get to Salt Lake City. Mentioned trains. I've been to Dallas and it's connected to Houston by rail. Well, but it's about Houston. The city has grown to cover the region of the Buffalo Bayou. Now, anyway, I think I will marry a Frenchman. Oh, right. I see, mademoiselle. You sweetheart, I don't mean you. You're a valet. Oh, well. So elitist over here. Can we get to New Orleans? Let's try from Houston. I believe so. One can travel in a hired carriage from Houston to New Orleans. What about if we travel from New Orleans to Havana, maybe? Miami? Probably not, but collectors in Port Royal will pay extremely well for good false teeth from Miami. Great. Cheyenne. Okay, so this is one of the other ways we could possibly go. Honestly, unless we're going south, we're probably just going to try to go straight through. I happened upon First Mate Wang holding hands with Commander Davy at the rail of the boat. I wondered if I could change her mind, and approached, but at the sight of me, both leapt to their feet. Captain, we were just getting back to work, Wang said, and the two hurried off in separate directions. I don't care that you're holding hands. You know, all's fair in love and boats. I'm pretty sure that's how the saying goes. We were making good time to San Francisco, and I had repaired much of the damage to the Water Lily. I began to feel rather comfortable in my captaincy. I gave serious consideration to the seafaring life, after my master and I had completed our around-the-world challenge. In the evening, I spoke to Wang about our onward journey, and she told me that Albuquerque could be reached from San Pedro aboard the Texas and Pacific Railway. Okay. An interesting fact, though I did not know how it would help. Yeah, that would be if I ended up going the southern route. I just don't know. I think we'll have to see. We arrived at San Francisco 20 days after leaving Yokohama. Yokohama. We had managed not to lose even a single day. Huzzah! Despite the obstacles our seemingly simple steamer journey had thrown up. At my urging, Commander Davy assumed control of the ship, and it promptly sank beneath the waves. I thought that there was like a hole or something. She took control, and all of a sudden the ship is just gone. It's done. So because it's the mariners, they promptly sank beneath the waves after we had disembarked. All right, San Francisco. Okay, market opens 7 a.m. All right, what's our plan here? So we've got an actual trail that goes this far. We don't have a trail that goes through here. We'd have to figure that out as we go. So I probably want to go this way. Though, if we're looking here, part of the Gentleman Traveler set. What's this? Urban Traveler, Cold Compress. There was something else that I had to save because I was trying to sell. Oh, this is the one that's worth in San Francisco, and then this is in Calgary, which is where? Calgary, oh, way up there. Yeah, I don't have a trail to Gastown, and I'm not gonna spend, I don't know. Maybe I'll wait until Salt Lake City, but I don't think that there's any point in jumping up to Calgary, just to come back down. You know? How much is it worth in Calgary? 2,000? Yeah, I mean, we're pretty okay. I can't believe that this is only worth like 600. Like, I carried this for how long? 2,000, I mean, would be useful. Like I said, let's hang on it till we get to Salt Lake City. If something appears between Salt Lake and Calgary, then maybe we'll take the detour. But considering that it took me, gosh, how long did it take me? Was it 10 days to cross the Atlantic? I'll have to go back and check. But it's, I mean, sorry, the Pacific. Forgot where I was. Took me about 10 days to cross the Pacific. I know the Atlantic is smaller, but, or the distance between the two places we'd like to go is smaller. But we still need 10 days here, which leaves us only 3 days to get across the United States. So, I think we probably will go straight, and maybe we just cut our losses. Maybe that's what we'll do. Maybe that's what we'll do. Alright. Hotel. Pass the night. San Francisco seemed less a city and more a ravenous beast bent on consumption of everything, even of itself. With the ever-expanding city limits, the building works made it tricky to talk to anyone. Such was the infernal constant noise. I headed towards Chinatown to eat. It was a warren of crowded wooden and brick houses, temples, businesses, herbalists, laundries, and market stalls selling fruit and flowers. I wanted only to eat, so I found a street vendor and bought a portion of noodles in a thick, pungent sauce, served with fresh-caught shrimp. That sounds bloody delicious. A stroke of culinary luck. A man next to me nodded. "You like it?" he asked. Indeed I do," I replied. He chuckled and smoothed his crisp shirt. "Many of my friends, they say, 'Lin, you talk to foreigners, you wear their clothes,' and I say to them, 'I am American now, and you are too.'" He pointed at a young man with his hair in a queue. "Look at him, with his old-fashioned hair. There is a law against it here, but he wears it like that, the fool." "What a ridiculous law. But that is your tradition. Why is there a law against it?" I asked. "It hurts no one, surely." "We must let go of our old culture," Lin counseled. "We are American now." "But you are Chinese American," I disagreed. "Why should you give up everything for the American dream?" Alright. Market opens at 7. We need to be on this at... It departs in 3 days? You're kidding. You're kidding. How the... There's no way we're getting here. What about this? I don't even have a route here. Arrives tomorrow. I think we're going south. There's no reason to go this way. Oh. Let's go back. I need to sell off my stuff in the market. What? Well, let's definitely buy that. Chicago, Houston. I mean, it seems like we're now going to go through Texas, so yeah. Dusty road set. Might as well. And then let's sell this. And let's just sell this, because there's no point in keeping that now. We're one suitcase light now, so let's get the heck out of here. Depart. Whoa. It totally changed the direction here. I don't need to go that far. Oh, gosh, you're kidding. Did I miss it already? Wait. What am I looking at? Yes? Somehow I missed. I cannot stand how this works. It literally... Oh, you're kidding me. I went to sell something and it took 2 seconds and now I'm stuck until tomorrow. I do not like this one little bit. Well, we might as well explore while we're stuck here. Oh, you're kidding me. Did I sell the thing and now I can go north? I sloped towards recently constructed Long Bridge, which was crowded with families out for a stroll and people fishing for silvery smelt with long poles in the water. In the water was a jangle of rowing boats racing each other and boatmen taking passengers out to Mission Rock. Cheers and good-natured shouts emitted from a halfway house in the middle of the bridge. I peered at the halfway house and surmised from the revels I saw spilling out from its doors that it was some manner of drinking den. A man, red-faced and somewhat the worse for drink, bumped into me. I excused myself politely, and he made an apology in return, slinging an arm around my shoulders. "Oh, hello," he exclaimed. "You don't sound like you're from around here." "You do not sound American either," I retorted. "No matter. I was Dutch once, in a past life. But now I'm as American as President Grant. This is a land of newcomers. You're a prospector?" "I am a traveler," I said. "I am traveling around the world." He laughed. "Oh, yeah? And I'm a Navajo chief." I insisted on the truth, sketching out in brief some of my adventures with my master. "What? Really?" His eyes widened and he slapped his thigh. "That's incredible!" A brown-skinned woman slipped her arm into his. I regarded her. She was wearing a ruffled walking dress in the latest European style, but with a short tasseled jacket embroidered with the patterns of her tribe. "Ah, my manners!" He shook his ruddy face. "I am Anders, and this is my wife, Jenny." "A pleasure to meet you." I kissed her hand. She was surprised, but smiled. "Always a pleasure to meet Anders' friends." She looked askance at the whiskey flask in his hands, but seemed to find me unobjectionable. I hesitated, the obvious question about her origins on the tip of my tongue. "Are you—" I let my rather uncouth question trail off in embarrassment. She laughed with full-throated pleasure. "I am of the Murdoch tribe, what the new Americans call Indians." Jenny rolled her eyes. "I do not mind your surprise. Most of my tribe has been taken to the Klamath Reservation in Oregon." "What is a reservation?" Jenny looked at me with utter astonishment. "They are tracts of land where the first peoples are relocated. When the whites decide they want the gold, the silver, the coal, the buffalo in our homelands." Anders whispered something into Jenny's ear and she laughed, though I feared I had opened an old wound with my prying questions. I nodded and found my way back to Monsieur Fogg, who was sitting drinking tea with a disconsolate frown. "It tastes like soap," he remarked, but would say no more. I am not presentable. Cool. Now what? Can I get the bloody heck out of here? Departs tomorrow. Both depart tomorrow. This arrives Sunday. Okay. I think I'm still going to probably go south here because there's no point in going north. And I've got things to sell in the south now. So I'd say there's nothing more than to do and then to, you know, suck it up, sleep the night, and venture off in the morning. We passed an anxious night with our 80-day deadline looming. Every sunset seemed to carry extra weight. We made ourselves comfortable for the night, and I helped the kitchen staff to clean, earning 100 pounds. Cool. My funds have gone up. Alright, let's get the heck out of here. Going south. San Pedro. Let's get out of here. Good. The physical restorative set combats any problems that he's going to have to face. Here we are on a fishing boat. We went down to the wharf to find a route onwards, but it took us a few attempts to find a sailor who looked sober. A lot of, no, never mind. I was thinking of the East Coast. Though whether the more grizzled men and women we passed were actually intoxicated or simply wind-blown and sun-swept was hard to say. We settled into a fishing boat whose name was Salvador, piloted by a Hispanic lady. I named it after my husband, she told, as she slipped the painter and we pushed out into the water. And where is your husband now? I inquired. She jerked one thumb downwards. Disappeared beneath the waves, friend. I gulped, but we were too far from the shore to turn back already. Greetings, Captain Dolores. Hold on tight now, Passport 2. Talk about Dallas. On the subject of trains, I've heard Atlanta is linked to New York aboard the Piedmont airline. That might be our way. If we can get to New York, that might cut our days down. What more can you tell me about New York? Now they say that the quickest way to New York from here is through Atlanta, but now I don't even like fish. What? But now I don't even like fish. Do you? Somewhat. A good fish can be delicious, but they spoil easily. If I ever see another fish, I will be sour. And then tomorrow comes, and then there are more. What about New York? I wouldn't be surprised if New York is connected to Atlanta by rail, but it's not. It's by flying ship. You just said so. What about Washington? You can reach Washington from New York. Let me tell you, some buyers will pay well for top hats from Washington. I'm not getting much from you, so let's just keep on this. So, from New Orleans to Atlanta to Washington. Okay, so we need to figure out... No. Because we're looking at this, we go to Dallas to Houston. Oh, got it. Dallas and Houston. I'm trying to remember. This one is good in Dallas, and this is good in Houston, but it's also good in Atlanta, so I might just skip Houston and go straight to Atlanta. Gosh, this is going to take so much longer. I'm really starting to worry that we're not going to be able to hit our deadline here. The boat scuttled through the water, roughly following the sandy coastline and rocky cliffs of the shore. How long have you lived in California? I asked. My husband and I came down in the gold rush, she told me. I spent every day for a year panning the streams and never found a cent's worth. My husband built a boat and caught fish to feed the other panners, and he made a nice little business out of it. So you became a fisherman? We did, though there were plenty of other people doing that too. A rush on one thing brings a rush on everything, she sighed. It was a crazy time. People would put up with just about anything because they figured they'd be rich next week. Then, when it started to dawn on people, they were never going to strike any gold themselves. And here they were. Picture it, a whole country's worth of people losing their hope together. And what of the original people? I asked. The Indians? They were a worry for a while, but they're mostly gone now. Truth is, they don't like to live around us settlers. We get in their way. Yeah, no doubt there. The second day, Captain Dolores stayed at the tiller through the lashing rain that kept my master huddled below the rough tarpaulin cover, stretched over the well of the boat, and myself with him mopping the rainwater from his brow. Do not be afraid, master, I declared valiantly. I am never afraid, my master replied. Perhaps the only time I've heard utter an outright lie. The storm lasted well into the evening, and we lost several hours, but finally the wharf at San Pedro came into view. We land, called Dolores. Take the tiller. There was not a moment to lose. I raced up to the back of the boat just as the captain had already dived overboard, painter in her hand. What? She was surely lost, but my fears only lasted a moment when her head reappeared bobbing like a seal's, and with strong strokes she swam to the shore and looped the rope through an anchor ring and hauled us in. We docked and secured ourselves with 3 more lines. "Madame, that was quite a dangerous move," I cried. "Could you not have sailed her in?" "Not with a wind like that at our backs," she snapped. "We would have been smashed into the rocks. Salvador has already had 1 hole put in him. I do not know if he can take another, and anyway, we lived." And then her tension came out in a laugh like a rolling barrel, and I could not help but join with her. Alright, safety harness. Let's sell that, and let's see if we can get on the road extra quickly. Wind scarf. Ooh. Let's move the hairbrush over. Let's do that. Good. We've got all the pieces now of the Dusty Road set. I've already got a Smith & Western. I think we're gonna leave those alone. And let's see, can we depart? Yes. Awesome. We managed to make it. Wait a minute. No, I don't want to go to I don't want to go to Acapulco. I can't even pronounce it. I definitely don't want to go. So this departs tomorrow to Albuquerque. I guess that's going to be our best shot. Alright. So tomorrow at 9 a.m. we will depart. Got it. Market. I mean, there's not really anything else I want to buy, so let's just go ahead and hotel it. We were staying near the wharf, looking out over the rolling Pacific Ocean in the new town area of San Pedro. I stayed with my master, tending to his needs. This town barely had more than a few thousand residents. If I were to go out, I would not doubt to be forced to meet all of them, and I doubted they would prove the most stimulating company. Also, too, I don't want to be held up by anything at this point. So let's get out of here. Albuquerque. Let's go. This seems like a bearable route. We boarded the Texas and Pacific Railway, a decent stretch of railroad by all accounts, which joined west to south. It lacked the speed of an airship, but at least it was reasonably comfortable. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and take a pause there for this episode. Please subscribe to get notifications about the upcoming episodes, and I will see you all in the next game.